Hello, everybody. Welcome to Drive Thru. I'm your host, Tony T. We broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel throughout social media. We're going to get you out here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. And that's what we do here on the Drive Thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's deliver live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And deliver those winners, professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. So let's take a peek at who's on the show here for today. All right, we got Brian Bitler with us. We got Jovan Burts calling his plays. And we got Briggs coming off a heated discussion before the show. Of course, we also have Brad Francis, has been very quiet, as always. And, of course, we got Zawacky. And, of course, David Racey will open up his mouth as well. All right, here's how. Let's take a look at how it'll play out for this evening. We've got Bitler, Racey, Briggs, Francis, Burts, Zawacky. Then I will close this one out. All right, we got NBA on the board tonight. We're back to where we were a couple weeks ago, right? We're waiting for the Super Bowl, but now NBA 10-game card. Thank you, NBA. Thank you for giving us something to talk about on Monday. And, of course, hockey as well, some college hoops. We feature some big-time games in there as well. So let's get this show underway. It's a Monday, so we start with our man Brian Bitler. He always starts us off here on the drive-thru for this week. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll talk about his video series as well here on the channel. Brian, what's happening?
Not much. Great to be with you, Tony T. Off a 2-0 college basketball, 0-1 in the NFL Super Bowl. But we're ready to turn the page. We've got a big week of basketball. Looking forward to tomorrow's big college card. And tonight, there's some games in there, some gems.
Yeah, so you're already moving into chapter 2. Already with the baseball cap up here. Turning the page. You're already in chapter 2.
That's right. Ready for baseball to start.
Right. Yeah, the countdown's here, right? March 20th, 21st, we got the battle in Korea between the Padres and Dodgers. So spring training is getting underway. Teams starting to report. But tonight, it's college hoops because we are now about 30 days away from conference tournament action here. Some of the major conference tournaments a little later start than usual in March Madness this year. But we're heading down the stretch. Teams need wins. You're going to start hearing quad 1, quad 2, all this conversation here. Two good teams battling here. Wake Forest and Duke here. We see Duke laying 7, total 156.5.
Yeah, for my drive-through play, I'm going to look here at the Wake Forest Demon Deacons visiting Cameron Indoor Stadium here to play Duke. Wake has performed well this season. Hasn't performed well this season on the road. They're just 2-5 straight up. But this is not your typical Duke team. They are beatable. More beatable than they were in years past. We've seen Duke lose to teams like Georgia Tech and Pitt. Wake has won 3 games coming into this game, kind of surging. These teams pretty close defensive rating and offensive points per game. Duke has the big rebounding advantage in this one, but Wake really hits their free throws, hitting 80.2% on the year. Duke comes in only at about 73%, which isn't horrible, but that could come up big late in the game. Wake Forest has covered 5 of the last 7 against Duke. I think they get another cover tonight. I see this one being a 4 or 5 point win here for Duke. I'm going to take Wake Forest plus the points.
All right, Brian here on Wake Forest here, plus the points here against Duke. Yeah, this Wake Forest team, they figured out how to play some defense. This has been a team that has had many struggles. Obviously, the coaching change coming in, helping them out here. We're starting to see this team defend. Oh, did we lose Brian? Oh, he is. He's back. Might have had a call coming.
Oh my God! You know what? I have it set on a mode to recheck people calling me. I don't know what's going on. Must have lost that on my settings. But in any case, the defense definitely turned up for Wake Forest. And like I said, with their free throw percentage, I've backed plenty of college teams that you really got to hold your breath when they go to the foul line. But at 80% with Wake Forest, you can put it on cruise control if they have to hit their free throws late.
Yep, and of course, when you look just at conference play this year, Wake Forest hit 82%. They're the top team in the SEC on the defensive glass. They hit 39% from 3. It's been pretty impressive here from Wake Forest this season, Brian. There, I'm seeing here Super Bowl odds. I'm going to get Brian's thought just on this one team. I'm seeing the Chargers now at 30-1.
Well, I don't like the Chargers just because everybody's going to be liking the Chargers and betting them, but I'd stay away from that, But I'm always wrong on my Super Bowl futures. I had the Niners playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, so I didn't hit that one for sure.
No, didn't have that one. We got one in.
Got one in. I guess I should be happy at 1 out of 2.
Yeah, 1 out of 2 isn't bad. So we're seeing some odds coming in now. The Ravens are posted 9-1 now to win the Super Bowl. You might like that one better?
I might look into the Detroit Lions, and maybe the Lions. Maybe this will be their year this year. I would probably lean towards looking at the Lions' future.
Based in Philadelphia, not much on the Eagles. Of course, we're going to go through a draft, free agency. There's going to be a lot of cuts, right? There's always those surprises when in these NFL during the offseason when they try to salary cut, and particularly the Chargers. Chargers have a lot of salary they got to cut, so a lot of important decisions coming up. But here tonight, we got Brian on the key game tonight on ESPN. He likes Wake Forest plus a 7 here against Duke. This one tips off 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Brian, let's take a look over at Pick Dog here for tonight's action. As you know, we have an 10 game card here from the NBA. Also on the board, college hoops view on the ice as well. Brian has been a monster this season here in college basketball. 2,850 units of profit. If you're just waking up to college hoops, he has been on absolute tear. Remember, college hoops has been going on since early November. Brian has seen it very clearly this season. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I got a premium in college basketball, NBA, and NHL, but my titanium play is in college basketball. 23, 10, and 1, 69% over the last 34. My titanium 52, 23, and 1, 69% last 76. So head on over to pickdogs.com, pick up that college basketball titanium, or all three of my plays in my Pound Zone 3-pack. That includes that NHL, NBA, and college hoops. Now's the time to jump on that long-term pass. Even with NBA taking a break, there'll be plenty of games in college basketball and NHL during the week.
That's right, guys. Got aboard with Brian Bitler over at Pick Dogs Premium. See the great results from Brian. 2,850 units of profit. All documented over at Pick Dogs Premium. You can verify those simply by going to Brian's handicapper page. You can see all the results there from Brian's selection here. Also showing profit this year in NBA. Also, all sports combined, a very profitable year. Last 30 days, over nearly 1,500 units of profit, all plays combined. He's been on tear. No better time to get that 1 month pass that'll get you through the regular season of college hoops, NBA, and NHL here for the next 30 days. Promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off. And we also have multi-capper promotions will save you even more money as well. All right, Brian, as always, great having the show. Continue that great success. We'll talk with you again on Friday. But let everybody know, Brian's been red hot. You want to catch his video series going with his contrarian plays over at the channel.
Make sure you check into the Pick Dogs channel. My contrarian sharp betting predictions every single day at the Pick Dogs channel, working on the Orlando Magic and Oklahoma City Thunder for tomorrow. And I already got my Super Bowl. My Super Bowl. I already got my NFL MVP ready for next year. You want to hear who it is?
Tell us who it is.
Get your bets in. Trey Lance, Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, my God.
MVP next year. I had it last year. It didn't hit. I'm going to play it again this year. I bet you he ends up being their starter. Trey Lance.
Being a starter?
That's right. You heard it here first.
How is he going to beat him out in training camp? How is it? Give us the path to starting here for Trey Lance. There's got to be a path there. It's not going to be an easy one. They had a good record last year.
Well, I think they want to go. They saw what they got from their starter last year. I think they maybe want to go in a different direction. Trey Lance, all that talent. You can't stick him at the number 3 position. I think Trey Lance gets in there and tears stuff up. Mitch loves Trey Lance, so I'm ahead of the game here.
Oh man, that's to me, it's that's a stretch there. That's a stretch. He's got. First off, I could see
big money winner.
I could see them trading him. That I can see a trade, maybe during draft, maybe trade Trey Lance during the draft, and maybe to New England. What do you think?
They could use a guy like that for sure. I don't know. I'm a Trey Lance. I want to see this guy on the field. I want to see a Trey Lance.
In order for to be an MVP, you got to start because they don't bench the starter at least until week 3, and by then you're probably 0-3 or 1-4, and so that's a stretch.
You're right. See, you're dashing my hopes already.
That's a stretch, my man. That's a stretch, Brian. All right, have a great night, and we'll catch up with you again on Friday.
All right, Tone. Thanks for having me. I'll catch you on Friday. Hopefully, streaking.
Streaking indeed. Brian Bitler here on the drive through. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, we got David Racey. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring him in right now. He's ready to roll here with some college hoops action. Of course, so it would have been nice to see his Lions in action yesterday. That would have been interesting there to see that game. We'll bring him in right now. Hey, what's happening?
Not much. I like where Brian's head was at with the Lions there, but he kind of lost me on Trey Lance. So, call me a doubter on that.
Yeah, that one again. You're gonna have to show me a path and try to explain it to me. I need some logic behind that. And first off, you got to be Dak. The only chance there is if he gets traded pre-draft. Then you have a shot. Right?
I would think so. Yeah,
you know.
But hey, I'm all in on that Lions. Take that Lions Super Bowl to the bank.
Yep. Lions Chargers. There you go. That's what some folks
There you go. That'll be the storybook that the NFL wants.
The storybook would be Chargers indeed, and Lions. That would be the one everyone would talk about. All right, tonight it's college hoops here on this college basketball card here. We're already approaching mid-February, which means we're not too far away here from the March Madness. These games start to matter now. TCU hosting West Virginia here. We see a big line here. TCU laying 12.5, total 150.5.
Yeah, well, just on that first thought, we are cruising towards conference tournament time, which is my favorite time of the year. There's nothing like those 2 weeks we have conference tournament games, plus the end of the regular season for the big conferences. It's a perfect time to get in the mood for March Madness. But looking at this matchup here today, we have a West Virginia team that just limps into this game. They're 8-15, 3-7 in conference play. They've lost 4 or 5, and they just got the doors blown off by Texas. In their previous game, they lost 94-58. They were only shooting 41% from the field. They're 0-5 on the road, losing by margins of 36-4, 13-4, and 34 points. So this Mountaineers team, while they do have a decent win at home, on the road, they're just not a very good team. TCU, on the other hand, they're 16-7, only 5-5 in conference play. They've lost 2 straight. They've been a little inconsistent. They just lost to Iowa State by 12 points on the road. Prior to that, they lost to Texas by 11 points at home. But they're the much better team here. They're 10-2 at home. They're shooting over 48% from the field. I think this is a get-right spot for TCU. Like I said, they're just the way better team than West Virginia. I think they put up 80-90 points, and they run away with this one. So I like TCU here, laying the big number.
All right, we got David here on TCU laying the big number here against West Virginia. You know, right now I'm just looking at conference numbers here. It's kind of been a struggle for TCU at the free throw line in conference, 68% and 11th in defensive efficiency against the conference. You know, TCU's numbers, I will say this, they've been really inflated if you look at the whole body of work because, yes, they have played some tough teams in the non-conference, but instead of playing good mid-major teams, they played a lot of bad teams. I mean, talking about teams in the 300s, some in the high 200s. They just played A&M Commerce. A lot of 300s that they faced there in those, to really pad up those stats.
Yeah, that is true. They did. But I really, in conference play, the way conference play started for them, they lost to Kansas by 2 points on the road. They played really well in that game. They had a chance to win. They beat Oklahoma, who was a top 10 team at the time. Then they followed it up with a win against Houston. And then it's been kind of rocky since. They lost to Cincinnati. They lost twice to Iowa State. Only beat Oklahoma State by 5. That was on the road. They beat Baylor, beat Texas Tech. They've just been a little bit inconsistent. They are shooting the 3 ball at a decent clip. But I just think this is more about how bad West Virginia is, especially away from home. And I think coming off that really bad loss to Texas over the weekend, just 2 days ago, there's not much time to bounce back, and they don't really have the talent it's not like they're a good team that just played bad. They're just a bad team that is what it is. So it's more so a fade on West Virginia. I do agree, though, TCU did bump those numbers up because their non-conference was not great, that's for sure.
Yeah, and of course, West Virginia's numbers they only do one thing good against everything is bad in conference except one thing is they make 36% from 3, but everything else in conference is, if you look at the KP, dark red and pink, deep and dark pink. So when you see that, it is a pretty ugly sight there.
It's not good.
It's not good. It's like you take your test and you see a bunch of red everywhere with check marks and you get all the answers wrong. And that's pretty much what West Virginia's doing.
Yeah, and we knew they were going to be bad coming into the season. Like I said, at home they're not horrible. They beat Texas at home, they beat Kansas at home. It's not like they're good at home, but they have 2 good wins. So they can sneak up on people. I just don't think it's a spot for that to happen, especially when you look at their road results. They've only kept 1 game. One of their 5 games on the road within single digits. It's a recipe for trouble for them.
There you go, David here on TCU laying the 12.5 tonight in Big 12 action, 8 Eastern time. This one's over on ESPN+. All right, David, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Cream for tonight's action. Of course, on the board tonight, 10 games from the NBA. Lots of college hoops action on the ice as well. David having a great year this season in the NHL. 1,294 units of profit in the NHL. That's all documented over at Pick Dogs Premium, so you can verify those numbers by just going over to David's handicapper page, go to Pick History. So what do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, tonight I have 5 plays. I have 2 in the NHL, 2 college hoops, and 1 NBA. I have them all packaged up in a 5-pack. I have a couple other separate packages as well, but if you're looking for the best value, hop on a long-term package or pair me up with one of the other guys here on the show. But whatever you do, join on one of the cappers over at Pick Dogs Premium, and let's have a good night and a good week.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Dave Racey over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results here from David in the NHL. No better time to get on board. You want to try them out. That 7-day All Sports Pass is a great value right now. Get all David's premium plays here for 7 days. That would also include all his NBA, all his college hoops, as well as NHL for 7 days. And of course, you have the option to use the promo code PICK at checkout, and that will save you 15% off. Right, David? As always, great having you show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week. But let everybody know we can catch you in written form over at the websites.
Yep, I'm one of the free pick writers over at Sports Chat Place and PickDogs.com. So you head on over to the websites. Right at the top, click the free pick section. You can get a free pick in just about every single sporting event. So it's a great source of information, good place to see some stats and trends, and you get to see a free pick. So head on over there and check it out.
That's right. Check it out. Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. David's written form there. All right, Dave, have a great week, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, I appreciate it, Tony. Thank you.
You got it. David Racey here on The Drive To. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, let's bring him in. You guys are asking for him in the chat. It's Jay Briggs. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Oh, boy. I got to wonder what he thought about Brian's thoughts here, man. Brian coming out of left field with that thought here. Let's bring him in right now. Jay Briggs. Of course, hope you catch him over on the rundown from the NBA morning show as well. So they had a big discussion today about the Super Bowl. We'll bring him in right now. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening, man? Brian, he's had that take for a while. I'm not surprised. But my guy Dak, he's not going nowhere. He's back on the wall.
There he is, back on the wall. It's back on the wall. Get time for the draft. See when they get the cows. There you go. There you go. Dak Prescott. So Trey Lance could be something to trade. Maybe you get a pick. I don't know what type of pick you'll get from him, but I would just assume, I can't see how Cooper Rush is a backup, right? He seems to me like a competent backup. I don't see why you would carry 3 quarterbacks, because it limits what you can do in your roster on the 53-man roster on Sundays. You don't want 3 guys.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. If somebody wants him, he's available. If nobody wants him, he's a great asset to just continue to develop. So I think that's really just the approach. It's not really complicated. It's, if ever need be, we might need him. If not, we might deal him.
That's right. You got a lot of options. A lot of teams need quarterbacks out there, and we got a lot of quarterbacks coming out in the draft right now this year. So there'll be some backups available as well, as they're going to be taking jobs away from some backups, no doubt, in the NFL. All right, here we go to the NBA tonight. 7:30 Eastern Time features the Bulls at the Hawks. We're seeing this line. I believe it's 4 and 4.5 in some places. I thought I saw a 3.5 earlier. Let me see what it looks like right now. Here, 4s, 4.5, 4.5. Everyone kind of copied the sharpest book in the world now. It's up to 4.5 here with Atlanta. Total says 240.5.
Hey, man, the Hawks early season had found themselves on the do not bet list, man, and they're still, by a lot of metrics, I think they're still the worst ATS team in basketball and still the worst home ATS team in basketball. But it's not that simple, because I'm here to tell you the Hawks are in the best stretch of basketball I've seen these boys play. Just on the pure eye test of watching the basketball games. And I think they're better than the Chicago Bulls. And I think they're favored here by this margin for good reason. I'm going to take the Hawks here. I think they continue to play well. Trae Young is playing, some of the best basketball I've seen him play, in all honesty. I know Capella is still kind of banged up, but again, Atlanta's playing so well. I see no reason to doubt them. Chicago, they're playing decently as well right now, but their injury report's pretty banged up right now. I just don't like the spot for Chicago on the road. I think Atlanta's the better team playing the better basketball. Short line at home, I'll lay it.
All right, we got Jay going to lay it here with the Hawks. Lay the 4.5 now. That line has really moved up here. And just to look at the injury report, White and Craig are still probable. Caruso is the one that will not play tonight. Williams not as well. So those two out for Chicago. On the Atlanta side, Capella out, Wes Matthews out, Patty Mills out. But you still have your nucleus here. Young, Murray, Jalen Johnson, and someone who I thought did good work in Detroit, finally starting to show something, is a Saddiq Bey.
Yes, Saddiq Bey, I kind of like his emergence here recently. The other part I forgot is the Bulls did beat the Hawks earlier this season, so a revenge game at home as well for the Atlanta Hawks. I think they are the better team, and I think because of how bad they were and how bad their numbers are, we're now starting to get a little value back on them because they're starting to be who the books thought they were earlier in the season. Is basically all I'm saying. I think they win the game here by like 7-8 points.
Well, based on projected minutes, we're probably going to see a lot of minutes from 7 players. The bench guys would be Bogdanovich and DeAndre Hunter. DeAndre Hunter to the bench, Fernando 10 minutes, Harrison Matthews 8 minutes. So it looks like Atlanta is kind of going to come in here with a 7-man rotation. Heavier minutes here with Murray, Trae Young, Jalen Johnson. So it looks like they're kind of going to wrap themselves around 7 guys.
You know, that's not typical of Coach Quinn Snyder. You know, I feel like he used to do that in Utah a lot. The other thing he used to do in Utah a lot is his teams would be really streaky in Utah. And I feel like his team here in Atlanta is the same way, where they would kind of get into sneaky stretches where they played extremely great basketball up there in Utah. And again, the Hawks, I feel like, are in one of those stretches where they're seeing it well. Their shots are falling. They're kind of trusting each other. When Bogdanovich is hitting shots, he never hits shots, but he's hitting shots right now. I like what I'm seeing from Atlanta. I'm gonna trust them again tonight.
Yeah, off the bench here for the Bulls. This might be a difficult game for Andre Drummond in this type of pace of play. Jevon Carter, I'm not a big fan of, but I think there might be a little benefit there with the Hawks bench in this one.
Yeah, I can see that. The pace of play for Drummond, you know, Trae Young and the smaller guy in the pick and roll. Yeah, I can see it kind of being a tough night for him.
Yeah, here we go here with Jay here on the Hawks here, laying the 3.5 here against the Bulls tonight, 7:30 Eastern time. All right, Jay, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, NBA on the board tonight with a 10-game card. Give us a nice 10-game card tonight. Also action from college hoops. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Man, I've been on an absolute tear the last week, Tony T, and I'm just trying to keep the momentum rolling forward. I have a 3-pack in the NBA tonight. You guys can scoop up my favorite 3 plays in the NBA, or you guys can hop on my NBA play of the day. Showing you some extremely great profits on that. Or you can hop on something long-term. I have a hockey play for my long-term folks and another NBA play. So 5 plays total if you're a long-term client, but plenty of room to make money with me today, or you can hop on something long-term and pair me up with one of the guys here on the show, Jovan, Tony T, Brian B, David Racey, Brad Francis. You can pair me up with one of those guys, man, and we can help you make some money over an extended period of time.
That's right, guys. Again, on board here with Jay Briggs over at Pick.com. Look at the numbers in the NBA, 1,906 units of profit. Jay amongst the leaders in the NBA this year. No better time to get on board. You know, that 1-month pass will serve you well. Get all of Jay's premium plays for 30 days, including also a college hoops. That'll take you right to the start of the conference tournament, as well as action on the ice, because Jay also handicaps the ice as well. Promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off. But you also have an all access for those big players.
Hey, man, my All Access Club is absolutely on fire. It's insane the units we're producing in the All Access Club. It's managed by my guy, Costi. You can text him right now if you want to join, 775-636-7674. It's a high ticket to get in. I'm not going to lie to you. But the way we've been running, man, you're going to have it back like this. If you enjoy betting the NBA pretty big nightly, then I promise you the All Access Club is exactly where you want to be. We'll send you the report, send you how we've been doing and all that great stuff. So text the number if you think it's for you, and we'll figure out a time to talk and figure out if the package is for you.
That's right. Make that call or text. Get signed up for Jay's All Access for those big bankroll players. All right, Jay, it's always great having you on the show. Continue that great success. I should say it's not just NBA. All sports combined, over 1,500 units of profit for 2024. Jay's been knocking it out of the park. All right, we're in that car. Yep, ready to roll here. We're in that Colorado jersey there. Of course, Zimmer is now going to be the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. Some thought Zimmer would go to Colorado.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Zimmer, he was a good head coach in Minnesota for a while, so a good defensive mind. I think he'll be just fine. I think he'll be just fine. I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think it's the greatest thing to ever happen. I just think it's going to be a nice plug and play for a really good team, and hopefully this team can get over the hump. I'm not going to get my hopes up though.
He is personality wise, he is the polar opposite of the head coach. That is because he can get pretty salty with the guys.
That's interesting because the last defense coordinator we had in there was the buddy coach, Dan Quinn, who's now in Washington. So we'll see if how the guys on defense react to or we'll see if Mike Zimmer may have changed his temperament a bit or at all. We'll see.
Oh yeah. If you go back and look at some of those NFL mic'd up, boy, a lot of beep, 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 and he's got that temperament. He can be pretty tough, pretty salty out there. So we'll see how it works in today's NFL. Some guys like that too. Believe it or not, they like that. That motivates them. They don't like the soft hands. I mean, they want the hard love from these coaches. So we'll see how that rolls. All right, Jay. Have yourself a great evening, and we'll catch up with you again on the show tomorrow. But of course, you got the NBA Jam session and morning show as well for everybody.
Yes, sir, man. Plenty of content from me here at Pick Dogs. You can catch me on the morning show Monday through Friday with Mitch, Ruffolo, Costes on Monday and Friday, and Romanelli on Wednesdays. You can catch me here with Tony T usually 3 to 4 times a week. And you can catch my jam session every morning. I drop it around 9:30ish as I go through every single NBA game on the card. So plenty of content for me, man. Having an extremely great season, extremely great week, extremely great month, extremely great year. Love my team, love the guys here, and we're just trying to keep the momentum rolling forward.
That's right. It was tough to get the 10-game card right after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man. Trust me, it was tough.
That was a tough one.
We got through it.
All right, Jay. Have a great night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Jay Briggs here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here with the show. Let's bring him in. Up next, Brad Francis. Catch him over at Pick Dog Spring. We'll bring Brad in right now. Let's get ready to roll here with some NBA action here from Brad. I think we're set to roll here in just a second. Bring in Brad. Brad, what's happening?
Tony T, how we doing today?
Doing great. Like this NBA card tonight. Features here, the one pick your look at this line move here. Knicks and the Rockets going head to head here tonight, and we see this line moving down here from the Knicks now a favorite here -1.5. The total sits 222.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, that injury report's pretty large for both teams, but I'm looking at the total here in this one. I think this is a good spot for the under here, under 222. It looks like right there. These teams played back back on January 17th. The final score was 109-94. Barely 200 points were scored in that game. When we look at stats, these are two of the best defenses when it comes to stats. The Rockets have allowed the second fewest points per game to opposition in the league. The Knicks have allowed the third fewest. Both these teams also rank in the bottom half in offensive points per game as well, and pace of play. So, I mean, this game just screams the under to me. The under is also 31-22 for the Knicks this season, 15-12 for the Rockets at home this season as well. And, I do like the Knicks in this game. I think it's going to be a close one, but overall I think it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be a slow pace. So I'll take the under here.
All right, we got Brad here with the Knicks and Rockets here to go under the total. Under the total here of 221.5, and that's kind of the way the Rockets play at home. They're a real good defensive team at home. They kind of clamp down on their opponents, and they hold teams down very well. When you look at their numbers, second in defensive efficiency, allowing just 108 points per 100 possessions, and I think that's really what you're looking at here. Is just pretty much the Rockets to play their game.
Exactly, yeah, and I mean, both teams have been successful in that way this season. The Knicks have been good, not causing a shootout, and so have the Rockets. So both these teams, when they play good defense, they typically win games. So I don't see either of these teams coming out and trying to push the pace too much in this one.
All right, we'll see that here with Brad here. Knicks, Rockets to go under total here up to 21.5. This one will have a start time 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Brad, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Of course, NBA is on the board. 10-game card from the NBA. Brad is on fire right now from the NBA. You see the numbers here. 1,422 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, tonight we've got action here from the NBA, also from college hoops on the ice as well. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I'm just rolling with one play tonight. I have my best play in the NBA. After that Super Bowl yesterday, I wanted to kind of ease into the week, and we'll definitely pick up the plays as the week goes on. But I got one play in the NBA that I absolutely love, so go check that out. But of course, it's always great to hop on something long term. That's where you can get the best value.
Yeah, best value here with the long-term pass. Get on board with Brad Francis over at Pick Dogs Premium. Great results, as you can see here in the NBA. 1,422 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dogs Premium. So you can go to Brad's handicapper page when you go to the handicapper spot, and you'll see every play that he's documented. Also, all for the year, all sports combined, 1,342 units of profit. So big performance here from Brad. Long-term pass is the way to go. Use the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. Multi-cap promotion as well, making it even a greater value there. All right, Brad, as always, great having your show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you again next week. But let everybody know about your video series here at Pick Dogs with your parlays.
Yep, doing the parlay videos every day. So I drop a 3-legger every day before the day of the game. So even if you don't like parlays, you can check that out and you at least get 3 free picks. So I've been enjoying them. I appreciate all the guys who watch them. So yeah, go check them out.
Check them out indeed, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit those notifications so when Brad drops those videos, you get them right in real time. All right, Brad, have yourself a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Have a good one.
Yeah, Brad Francis here on the drive-thru. Guys, if you ever miss a pick, we'll always do a recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Up next, let's bring him in. Jovan Burts. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring Jovan in right now. Ready to roll here for some action here from the NBA. One of the marquee matchups for tonight. Jovan, what's happening? You're on mute there, Jovan.
What's going on, Tony? How are you?
I'm doing great. Feeling great tonight. Here we go. It's the big one tonight. NBA TV has Nuggets and the Bucks going head-to-head. We see the Bucks here lane 1, total 230.
Yeah, I'm on the under in this one. It's just one of those things where, we have a Denver team that loves playing to the under. They're 33, 19, and 1 to the under. And you're going against the Bucks team who, quite frankly, even though they haven't been able to stop a nosebleed this season for the most part, they are slowly but coming along. And on the other side, they haven't been they haven't been playing up to par offensively neither, which helps to playing the under neither. And I think they're starting to get what Doc Rivers is trying to sell, that you got to play defense, in order to win these games, because on a night-to-night basis, you might not have it on the offensive side of the end of the court. They got their one win against the lowly Charlotte Hornets, and maybe it's just a situation where they held that team to 85 points. They know they could hold any team if they put their effort in on the defensive end of the court. So I just think we're catching this total 230. I think I've seen the sparks it's going down a little bit. So I think the market is moving in my direction, throughout the day. So I like that. Tony?
There you go. Sorry about that. I was on mute there. So what has happened here is that we've definitely seen the Bucks go under Doc Rivers. And one thing we've noticed here is the pace of play has kind of slowed down. And I guess that's what you got to do if you want to play defense. You want to be a little bit more control, have a little bit more control in the game, play at your speed, slow it down. And also the Nuggets, 26 in pace away from home. They're not the running Nuggets when you get them out of Denver.
Yeah, absolutely. They take advantage of teams who's not used to playing in high altitude. On the road, it's a whole different animal. And like you said, the Denver Nuggets, they play to a slower pace, especially on the road. And, like I said, Doc Rivers have a different style of play as opposed to, I guess, whatever Adrian Griffin was trying to run out there, up and down the court. It just, that type of style of play with the personnel they have, it just doesn't work. You know what I mean? So in order for this team to win, they need to keep guys in front of them when they're on offense. And, you see the proof is in the pudding. They're 7-3 to the under the last 10. They haven't been winning these games, and they have been giving up points, and the offense hasn't been really clicking. they have it in them. We've seen it before in years past. So and just because Drew Holiday's not on the court doesn't mean that they can't help defense. They can't play help defense. You know what I mean? So I think with 2 games remaining before the All-Star break, I think we're gonna see a maximum effort on defense today, and then tonight, and then tomorrow as well. So.
We get a lot of hype from Patrick Beverley, but again, we've always kidded about Patrick Beverley. He plays like 14 minutes a game.
That's another thing. They gotta. I mean, call it what you want. He's a polarizer figure, that Patrick Beverley, but he plays defense. He gets under people's skin. And he's the type of person that you don't want to play against him, hate him on other teams, but you love him when he's on your team.
Yep, that's right. So Patrick Beverley trying to bring some defensive influence. I call him an influencer because when you play 14 minutes, you're pretty much an influencer on the court. We saw that with the Lakers, where 14 minutes. Let's see what the players think of that.
Hey, but listen. He was on the first game that he was with him. He took the ball from Doc Rivers or whoever had it and started drawing up something, and Doc Rivers wanted the board back to draw up a play. I'm like, what's going on, guy? But hey, whatever works.
I guess so. Whatever works there with him, no doubt about that. All right. So we got Jovan. Oh, because of course Jovan there in the Boston area. We were talking a lot about Belichick. What do you think about all these changes now? We're kind of knowing the chain of command now in New England.
Oh, what they've been doing.
Yeah.
I mean, the coaching staff is the coaching staff. I don't like what they really did on the offensive side of the ball. With their hires. Ben McAdoo. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing on the right about. But their philosophy is they want to pay these guys. They want to be cheap, so other teams are paying them. These guys got fired. Alex Van Pelt fired. Ben McAdoo fired. Those teams are paying them. The Cleveland Browns and the Charlotte Panthers, not the Charlotte Panthers, the Carolina Panthers, they're paying these guys salary, not the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they do it around here. They're kind of frugal around here, and I don't know what they're gonna do as far as free agency. They have a lot of they have a lot of room a lot of cap space. Let's just put it that way. You know what I'm saying? So they should get some quality players. Especially on the offensive side of the ball, to turn this thing around. They have the defense, to put in work. Now they just need to revamp that offense. Do I think it's going to happen with these coaches? Not too sure, but I will say about Alex Van Pelt, he did it under extreme circumstances with multiple different quarterbacks. So it didn't look all that bad. With him as the offensive coordinator. So and it's a run-based offense. I guess that's a plus with what the personnel is for the Patriots as we stand right now with Ramondre Stevenson. So they're gonna run the ball a little bit more. I guess it's a West Coast offense type of. He comes from the West Coast offense style of play. So I guess that's decent. But they need a quarterback. They need some skill position talent. They need a lot on that offensive side of the ball is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they do. And, of course, the draft will be heavily discussed here as we get toward the draft talk right now. Of course, we got a lot going on here the next few weeks as they get ready to go to Indy for the, for the rookies to go check show their stuff. All right, the Jovan here, Nuggets, Bucks, under 230.5. This one tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. NBA TV has your doubleheader. All right, Jovan, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. Of course, Jovan in action having a great year in the NBA. As you can see here, 1,253 units of profit, all documented over at Pick.com. So you can verify those numbers simply by going over to Jovan's handicapper page. Go to Pick History. You can see every play that's up there on the board, the Jovan post. What do you have going over at Pick.com Premium?
Yeah, I like this NBA card a lot. Got an NBA 5-pack going on a Monday night. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a lot of meat on the bone on that side. I got 6 NBA plays. If you're long term, you're gonna get all that, and you're gonna get an additional college basketball play, not particularly well. Basketball one of other handicaps for the 2-point cap promotional, or you could check out something long term, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, yearly. It's all here at Sports Chat Place and Pick Dogs. Let's get it.
Let's get guys get on board with Jovan Burts over at Pick Dog. You see the great results here. 1,250 units of profit from the NBA. No better time to get on board with Jovan with a long-term pass. As he mentioned, the long-term pass is the way to go. Pick is a promo code. Save that 15% off. Multi-cap promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Jovan, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again later in the week. But I know you're working on a video series as well soon on Pick Dog's channel.
Yeah, absolutely. Waiting equipment to come in. I had to purchase the main thing, which is the laptop. I'm shopping around. I kind of want something different, So I just decisive on things. You know what I mean? So something with a little bit more capability. So.
There you go. You got it. So keep an eye with Jovan ready to roll with his video series. You like, subscribe, set those notifications. So when Jovan is ready to roll with his video series, you'll be able to get notified and get those picks right away. All right, Jovan, have a great rest of the night. We'll catch up with you again later in the week.
Absolutely. Have a great night. See you on Friday.
We'll see you on Friday. Jovan Burts here on The Drive Thru. Let's continue on, guys. You ever miss a pick? We recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue here on The Drive Thru. Time for Rod Zawacky. He's been very good to us here on The Drive Thru. Let's bring him in ready to roll with Rod. Rod, what's happening?
Not too much, Tony. Another loaded day in hockey, so busy day of shooting hockey videos.
Oh, yes.
No break for us. We enjoyed the Super Bowl. Quick, on to the next day. It may be a smaller card today, but we enjoy it, but tomorrow is not a smaller card. There's a loaded college hoops card, and another loaded hockey card, and as you said, we was 10 NBA today. See, loaded NBA card. It never stops.
Never stops at all.
Find places to get that money.
Yep, there is ways to find it. Of course, Rod will scour any conference. He'll scour any conference to find it. And he found one here today.
Well, I'll find anywhere. Look at this dog doo-doo game. Woo! This is.
Northwestern State here. We got Northwestern State and UNO, New Orleans, going head-to-head tonight here in college hoops. This is what you get here on a Monday. You get the teams in the 300s playing from the Southland Conference going head-to-head. So we got Northwestern State laying 3, total 156.
Yeah, look at this one. This New Orleans team is a team that I've followed for a couple years, and this is definitely a down year for New Orleans. You look 8-16 on the year, and on the road, awful on the road. 1-12 on the road. Losers of 10 straight basketball games are these privateers on the road. They've already lost to Northwestern once this year, and it wasn't even a close game. Can't even say that they put up a fight. Nah, they got beat down in their own court by 25 by this Northwestern State team. And you look defensively on the road, it doesn't get any better. So you figure this may be a red spot for the New Orleans Privateers. No chance. On the road, they're even worse. They're defensively giving up 85.7 points on the road. And they can barely score 68 points a game. And this Northwestern team plunked 92 on them earlier. And you look at New Orleans' losses on the road, they give up 89 points. 98 points, 102 points, 88 points, 92 points. Northwestern's going to come in and roll them in this one, and they easily hit 90, and New Orleans just won't be able to keep up. They might try to keep it up a little bit early on in this game, but Northwestern just pulls away, wins by 10 plus. Easily lay the points here with Northwestern. Tears on the road. 10 straight losses on the road. Take Northwestern State. Take the Demons in this one.
All right, Rod here on Northwestern State laid the 3.5 against Northwestern. We'll talk about this one a little bit, Rod. We're hitting the butchering hour here. Let everybody know what you have going over at Pick.com. We have a very successful 2024 campaign. 560 units of private, all sports combined. Completed a nice, profitable NFL to go with a profitable college football season. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, we had a nice weekend, nice profitable Saturday. Finished off yesterday with a nice win yesterday. Went 3-0 in the NFL to secure a nice winning NFL season. So, we'll continue. It's a new day, new week. We're looking to continue rolling 2024. I've got 3 plays today. My top play in college basketball, my top play in the NBA, and my NHL sniper play of the day. Those are all sold separately, or you can scoop it up in my Monumental Monday triple, where we're trying to go 3-0. And, hey, join me for something a little longer term. Grab a 3-day, grab a 7-day, grab a month pass, get you right into the start of March Madness. That month pass get you right on through the rest of the NBA All-Star game we got going cooking, and the lots of NHL still cooking, and lots of college basketball still to come. So definitely jump aboard long term. We're going to continue to crush the books 2024.
That's right. Rod is a bookie crusher. 2024 has been crushing his books. 560 units of profit. Go ahead and get on board. Long-term pass, as Rod says, and use that promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off. You know, Rod, this UNO team has just been horrible. You know, the defense has gotten worse in conference play. They're last in the Southland, and they're giving up 39% from three, 55% inside. It's been pretty bad defensively for this New Orleans team.
Well, they're almost, you might as well say rip it all down and start all over, but I think that's exactly what they're doing. This is a young team, and as you said, they got worse in conference play. I figured maybe you might get a little bit better output. Nah, they got worse. They've been a completely fade for me on the road. Normally I like New Orleans. Normally they're a scrappy bunch, and this is usually a team that usually gets the other team just gets way too many points. So normally New Orleans can cover, but they're usually good at home. On the road, ooh. They've been just awful on the road, as Tony says. 85.7 points a game. Yikes. And then their offense can barely score 70. So you're losing by 20. And we only have to lay 3. You may look at this line and go, hey, maybe somebody knows something. Nah, this is what these two teams are. You got to look, Northwestern's only won 6 games. Right? It's just not like Northwestern's been world-beating anybody. Both of these teams have nice wins against Houston Christian Baptist School was their last big win for either of these two teams, head-to-head against each other. Northwestern's been dominant over New Orleans, and I think they dominated again. They won by 25 earlier, and I don't see what's changed. Well, what's changed? All of a sudden, New Orleans is going to make it close? I don't think so.
Yeah, there we go. Round with
if you can find an
State.
Extended line, I would try to. If you can find that extended line, try to find it. Take the -9.5. I think they win by double digits here.
Number is 3 now, so a great Rod on 3. That's where the number is in most places right now. 3 with Northwestern State against New Orleans. All right, Rod, any bonus for tonight?
Bonus, let's see, nobody touched on any hockey tonight, so one I'll touch on. I like the New York Rangers here. The Rangers 7-0 following an overtime win, and I think they continue to roll here. Calgary, sure, they've had a great start to this road trip, and they're trying to make it 5 straight hockey games, 4 straight on this road trip. Nah, you're running into a buzzsaw. The New York Rangers, even with Shesterkin getting the start here tonight. I know Shesterkin hasn't been the greatest in goal, but this is one of those games that he steps up and duels Markstrom in this one. I kind of like an under as well, but we're going to go with the Rangers as a bonus play for you. And in that game, we got Lafreniere, and I had Lafreniere to get an anytime goal, plus 235 in that game, and also over his shot total, 2.5. He's done that in his last 5 straight hockey games. He's got over 2.5 shots. Is Lafreniere, so take that one as well. Lafreniere over 2.5 shots plus a Lafreniere anytime goal.
There you go from Rod Zawacky. Now that was the Kings' first game back with that new coach, right? That was the angle that came in.
That was right. The Kings were the first new coach, and they got themselves a win, didn't they? Or did they lose?
4-0. Beat the Oilers.
They got themselves a win. Yeah, that's right. They got themselves a win, and that's right. And they beat the Oilers, and then. The Desjardins of the Oilers just figured he was going to try to keep the puck and play a game with them at the end. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
He had. They were about to tackle him. It's like, man, a couple disrespectful spots in the NHL this weekend. That's for sure. That was one from the Oilers. Just give the guy the puck, man. Just give the guy the puck. You're on their home ice. No point in playing that sort of game. And then Morgan Riley, the cross-check to the head. After the slap shot into the empty netter. There is a little bit of an etiquette there, I understand. And I get the point that Morgan Riley was saying, hey, come on, you did beat us. There was no need for the slap shot into the empty netter. But you could have came over to him and say, hey, give him a little bump, give him a little tap. Not a big cross-check to the head. Like, come on. That was a little bit too much overreaction. And you know what? It's going to cost the Leafs. He's going to get a few games. And the Leafs are already having trouble on defense. And you're going to lose your big defenseman like that to a stupid, silly play. It's going to cost you some games. It's going to cost your team some games. Because I bet you give up some games.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, it's just a interesting one there. And, of course, Vegas, people are talking about the Vegas Wild game tonight, probably one of the marquee matchups. It's going to stand alone by itself. That's going to be the late game tonight. We've seen the money come on under here. So I think they're right at 5.5 in some places.
Yeah, it's come down to 5.5, and with good reason. I think both goalies, Gustafson's definitely stepped up his game, and the way Hill's been playing, this game could easily finish 2-1. I kind of like that under in that one.
Looks that way. All right. So Rod here with the bonus action for you right now. Of course, we got you. Let you know over at Pick Dogs. Get signed up, and of course, Rod, let everybody know about your video series. You go A to Z in the NHL, a pick from every game from the NHL, as well as a parlay video.
Yeah, A to Z from every hockey game going tomorrow. We got 11 hockey games tomorrow, and definitely throwing in a parlay video, nice little 3-teamer. Absolutely love some dogs tomorrow. I think the dogs are going to be barking this Tuesday, so definitely you want to like, subscribe, and make sure you get that notification bell turned on. That way you get notified and get the best of the number with us, because it's a dog day in the NHL tomorrow. I can feel it.
Absolutely. Get on board here with Rod Zawacky. Make sure you get those videos and like and subscribe and set notifications. Be notified when these videos drop. Get the best numbers before these lines move. There you go. All right, Rod. Enjoy that.
They move.
Yeah.
Oh, man, they move. They move. Like some of the moved like $20 already if you look at some of these lines.
Oh, yeah. Like that total in the Super Bowl moved, huh? Like that total in the Super Bowl.
What did it budge? Half? I think it moved a little bit late. I think it went down to
46 and a half in some place. Yeah.
46 and a half, a little bit later. No, it didn't move all the way for like ever. It was like that thing was locked in and didn't even budge.
Not at all.
I was just kind of figuring out how it was going to be. I didn't figure it was going to go to overtime, but definitely a good game. It definitely was a battle. One of the was a good Super Bowl that wasn't like really ugly, and the ref didn't decide it.
No.
Let's put it that way. That's what I'm happy to see.
Good.
That's
a good ref. Well, the referee there is
exactly.
That's a good ref. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He deserves to be there. They should put him in there every game. As far as I'm concerned, we don't, if he.
Yeah, exactly. Put him in there the more. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because we don't seem to get those stupid calls that seem to be like, what was the turning point in the Super Bowl?
You knew on that intentional grounding, they were trying to talk him. Do you see? They were trying to talk him. They were trying to talk it against him, or trying to change his mind. He was just going like this. Get away from me! I made the call. Did you see that?
Get away from me! Yeah. Because he was like, hey, because they were like, hey, there was a receiver coming back. It was it did make it out of bounds. No.
And made sure his microphone was on when he said no. Right? He goes, no.
He did, yeah, because he seen him go down to reach for it, and then he was like, no.
I like that. That was pretty cool. Yeah, that's cool. So I was going to say Trubisky just got released. So let's see if there's any takers. It's going to be tough for these backup quarterbacks because there's so many quarterbacks coming in this year.
I don't see anybody ready to speak about Trubisky. Comeback player of the year.
He may join Trey Lance before. I think they cut him for the UFL or what's the XFL, USFL, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, that's coming up. So you might as well cut him. Here you go. Save it.
They should give farm leagues to these. The NFL should get a farm team from these spring leagues. That would make it more interesting in my eyes.
We do. We have CFL. Send them up north. We always love scooping up the NFL guys that get cut. We love taking them up to the CFL. I know it takes a little bit for them to get used to the 3 downs because it's the 4 down system. And then they all got to get a little bit used to that length of the field. The end zones are 20 yards deep. And also there's an extra, 15 yards in the middle of the field?
Yeah.
We have a 55 as the center. And there's also, it's also a wider field as well in the CFL. Big difference. A lot more running.
Big difference. We can
definitely have to be a little more, definitely more, yeah. and we have the good old onside kick. You can get your own onside kick on the second down. When it's second down and long, if you can do some like weird onside kick.
You know what I was calling for in the Super Bowl? I'm glad you brought this up because you know what I was calling for in the Super Bowl? When the 49ers got the field goal, I was calling for an onside kick by San Francisco. And I don't know what the rules say. If they recovered the onside kick, would they have won the game? That's the one thing because I figured when they got the field goal, I said, man, I don't know if they'll make it stop. But I was looking at the kickoff, and the Chiefs were 5 yards beyond. They were 15 yards away. So they were 10 yards, 10 yards or 15 yards, so 5 extra yards. I'm thinking, heck, if that kicker does an onside kick, recovers it, then they would have won the Super Bowl, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, because of that onside, it would have been the same. Yeah, for sure, they could have easily attempted that. Done at the kicker just bobs to 10 yards and runs to the other side. Well, McCaffrey loves it. He loved doing that play. McCaffrey loved kicking the onside kick, make it go 10 yards. He'd run there to the other side. Here it comes, mine.
Yeah,
man, that would have been ballsy. That would have been a ballsy call. Because they wouldn't have expected it. Nobody would have expected that. Because the way they've been kicking, everybody has been kicking right out the back of the end zone.
Yeah, no.
This is all we've been watching on kickoffs.
Yeah.
All Super Bowl. Yeah, that would have been ballsy. That would have
been a ballsy one there.
Ready.
They would not have been. All right. Someone says, hey, dude, Rod just gave you like 4 picks. Okay. I don't know what this guy's talking about in the chat. All right, Rod. Have yourself a great night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Have yourself a good one, everybody. Get those winners. Crush the books.
Crush the books.
See you guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Rod Zawacky here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the drive-thru. Oh, this guy Michael V, man, sorry, just can't satisfy everybody. I guess Rod gave you about 5 picks on this segment. Let's continue here on the drive-thru. Up next will be my pick. Then we'll get you guys out here. Let's get to the recap, and then we'll roll on with it here. Let's go ahead and bring in the recap. We had Brian here with Wake Forest +7 against Duke. David here on TCU laying 12.5 against West Virginia. Jay was on the Hawks here, laying the 3.5 against the Bulls. Brad like Knicks-Rockets under 221.5. We had Jovan here, Nuggets, Bucks under 230.5. Rod was on Northwestern State, laid the 3.5 against New Orleans. I'll be on the Spurs +6 here against the Raptors. Now it's time for you guys to give out the picks here. And so why don't you go ahead and put your top plays for tonight's show into the chat. And the one I like the most, I like that under here with Jovan, Nuggets, Bucks under 230.5. That's the one I like the most. All right, let's get back to my pick here. Spurs and Raptors. We're going to come here with the pick. We're coming here with the Spurs +6 in this one. Really, the Raptors' defensive form is just brutal. Man, we saw the Cleveland Cavaliers on a back-to-back just literally pound the Toronto Raptors. And yeah, I know that the Spurs have their issues, but man, Toronto, over their past 5 games, they are last in defensive efficiency. They're giving up 125 points per 100 possessions, a -13 net rating. We know the Spurs have their issues on the road, but on the road they're a -11 net rating, so they're bad, but they're not playing as bad as Toronto, and they're getting 6 points here. This Toronto Raptors team, man, this is just bad. And I'll be looking here at the Spurs here, and we're getting some folks here getting that number there as well. All right, so we'll go with Spurs here at +6. Guys, check out Pick.com. We've got a best bet tonight from the NBA as well as another standalone play here from the NBA. So get on board with me over at Pick Dogs. Also, my long-term pass, I have a 3-7 30-day all sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period to select. When we go to my handicapper page and make that purchase, remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. Multi-capper promotions, even greater value there. All right, let's continue on. Well, we've already got to this drive-through. Guys, remember to get your best bets in the chat. We'll read them off at the end, right near the end of the show. That's going to do it for this edition of the drive-through, guys. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring our cappers for Pick Dogs and Sports Chat plays. And we'll go at our plays for you in real time. Remember, it always gets started every day with the morning show live 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. We've got Mitch, we got Chris, we got Jay, of course, Costi, Romanelli. Also, we'll join them for the shows as well. Also, don't forget these video series here over at Pick Dogs. Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. His betting tools show, his roundtable discussions with the professionals. Now you're seeing some shorts up here on the channel as well. Ron Romanelli, college basketball bank shot breakdown, many picks from college hoops. We also have Jay's rundown from NBA. Also, Rod Zawacky, A to Z coverage from the NHL, a pick from every game from the NHL. Also, from Rod, parlay from his from the NHL, and of course, around the league here from Chris with his NHL around the league. Also, you'll get action here from Brad Francis with his parlay video. Nick Menken, first half NBA. We got Mills with his UFC and rundown, as well as his prop shop video of the day. You want to check that out. Costi with his sharp trading plays. Contrarian sharp plays here from our man Brian Bitler. All access, Big Al McMorty checking in, of course, with his video series. So lots and lots of content here, guys. You want to make sure you like, subscribe, and set those notifications so when these videos drop, you get them in real time. All right, that's going to do it here for the show. That's going to do it. Let's go ahead and bring our captains here from the show tonight. Anyway, goodbye, guys. You guys have a great afternoon, evening. We'll catch up with you.